So the Halo Infinite campaign has just released a couple of days ago, and after completing the main storyline on Heroic and doing pretty much everything that I'd wanted to do, I still had the urge to explore the Halo Infinite world a little bit more, so I decided the perfect way to do that would be to do a 100% legendary run, getting all of the skulls and all of the collectibles and completing all of the in-world tasks that I could. And after a recent community poll that I chucked up onto my YouTube channel, I've realized that a lot more of you guys like watching playthroughs with commentary than I thought. I did think though I am going to keep the original plan for this sort of series going, so I will just be doing commentary over the parts where we're out in the open world. So for this episode we will actually be getting a little bit heavier into that, as a lot of what we did in this one was actually in the open world, exploring stuff, finding skulls and all the rest of it. So yeah, if you guys do like the new form of videos in this series, let me know down in the comment section, or if you did actually like that no commentary style that I was chucking up before, let me know as well, because it helps me kind of keep track of what you guys are actually kind of enjoying the most out of all these videos. So one of my main focuses when exploring the open world was trying to clear it in sections so I could try and keep track of all of the things that I had. I was actually using MapGenie.io for a couple of things on here, just the ones that I couldn't exactly find. A lot of these I just come across as I was naturally playing through, and I tried to keep that for the most part how I actually came across all of these collectibles. For the start of the solo, one of my main focuses was actually getting all of my valor up around the map. So how you actually end up getting this is you go around, you free marines, you clear outposts, you do a bunch of other stuff around the map, and that really helps boost it up and lets you unlock new things from your different FOBs that are placed around the map. So once I cleared a whole bunch of these, you actually get access to some really cool weapon variants that have a little bit more punch than the rest of the stuff you have access to at the start. Now during my heroic playthrough, I'd actually only got up to, I believe, the Scorpion tank before I'd actually finished the game. So for this one, I wanted to take a very different approach to it. Although I would be doing the main storylines along the way, I really wanted to have access to some of the higher tier weapons and vehicles that came, as you got the different FOB upgrades unlocked. So after coming out of the last main mission, I went out into the world of Zeta Halo, and while I started off doing all of the FOB platforms and clearing a few of the different marine squads, it really started to heat up a little bit when we went for some of the main camps. The first outpost we came across was the Armory of Reckoning. Now this wasn't exactly a particularly challenging one. The main thing that we ended up facing was the fact that just as you got into the gate, there was actually a massive amount of enemies waiting just over the fence. So this was an issue because I couldn't bring any of my marines in, and it was quite hard to get angles on them without getting blasted by all of them at once. But after chipping away at a few of the enemies from over the fence and getting a few cheeky little angles, I was able to get through into the base. Now in order to shut this base down, what we needed to do was to clear out all of their ammo printers. Now the ammo printers themselves weren't actually that much of an issue, it was just getting around the enemies in close quarters that were surrounding these different entries. Now once we'd got inside, we found a few Spartan cores, a couple more audio logs that we still needed to collect, and after that we were pretty much polished off for the Armory of Reckoning. So when we came across our first high value target, it was actually a really good position. We were able to sit up on the hill above, take out all of the really dangerous enemies before we got down there, so that we weren't just going to get one shot every time we tried to go into the fight. The skewer itself and the variant that we used before with all of the marines was actually super helpful all throughout this playthrough, as it really allowed you to take out the big threats before you got in close to have to finish everything off. So after we finished off the high value target, we got a little bit closer, hijacked a ghost off a little grunt there, and used it to absolutely decimate the rest of the camp. Having all of these cylinders sit around is a massive buff as well, because you can just sort of lay waste to those and it'll generally take out most of the grunts and stuff that are sitting around. However, after we were done with that, I was really starting to get the urge to head back to the missions and get back into things. And so what we did after that was grab a couple more audio logs, and then when I really couldn't fight the urge anymore, we went straight back in for those main storyline missions. That's going to be coming in part 5, boys. Stay awesome. I'll see you in the next one.